Ever wondered how you can easily build more strength in your voice, whether you're singing or even speaking? Well, a great way is the straw technique. It involves making sounds through a straw, which helps to reduce vocal tension and improve vocal control by creating back pressure and encouraging better vocal fold alignment. But if you use things like plastic straws, then you've only really got one kind of resistance. Also, it's plastic, and I personally don't want to be contributing to the ever-growing issue of plastic waste. Well, let me introduce you to this. This is the Oboe Sing Ring, a simple tool that can help you get your vocal practice in, and it's way more than just a plastic straw. Let me show you. In the box, we've got another box, and this is a little carrying case. So I'll just move this slightly out of the way, and this has the Sing Ring inside it. I've already opened it, and you've got the Sing Ring, and what you've also got as well is a little carabiner, and that's either so you can put it directly on the ring itself if you want to, or what you could do is this little carry case has a little tag here, so we could put the carabiner on that. Love this little travel case, it's really, really cool. And then inside the box itself, it's actually got instructions, and one of the instructions is about the 4 levels of resistance. It also tells you how to use it. But all you need to do with this is you put this on your middle finger like this. And there is a hole at the bottom here, that's for resistance. You put your thumb there, and then your second and fourth finger go over the top because you got 2 more holes there for resistance. Now, I got this wrong and thought that you needed to place all fingers down, start with 1, go to 2, and then go to 3, therefore building your resistance up. And I'm wrong. And I know I'm wrong because I'm not a vocal coach. So I reached out to one in the form of John Henney. John is a vocal coach, has been in the vocal game for over 30 years, and has taught thousands of students and some really high profile artists and speakers. So who best to ask about this thing? This strange contraption that we've been talking about, and who better to tell you about it, not me, but a well-renowned vocal coach. If you don't know who John is, I'm going to let John explain a little bit of what he's done and his background. John?
So I've been teaching now, it's over 30 years. I'm based in Southern California. I've worked with famous singers. I've worked with beginning singers. I've worked with lots of session singers. I train speakers, basically voice users. I also train other voice teachers in contemporary voice technique.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that. That's great. He's been very modest, by the way. He's done a lot. So talk to me about, I've obviously been talking about this Sing Ring and the different holes and a little bit about resistance. How does this resistance help your voice?
Yeah, so it's rather fascinating, but so much of the important stuff in singing, right? Everybody knows, okay, we have to support with the breath, etc. But really, the key to singing your tone, the key to singing higher is in the vocal tract, so that your throat and your mouth. And when you raise the pressure, what they call interoral pressure, your vocal cords begin to vibrate easier. And it actually, this higher pressure feeds back to your vocal cords and helps align them more optimally. And the idea with using straws and any type of resistance, I mean, you can use bubbling lips, but it puts your voice into an optimal condition. And then the idea is the body can remember so that when you take the straw away, you're better set up to sing.
So is this a little bit like, if I gave a weird analogy of going to train for a marathon, it's like muscle memory. Do you get what I mean with it? It's kind of training the muscle to either muscle memory or it's training it to be fitter.
So it's training your voice to be fitter, but it's also because the voice is a very unique instrument because we have an indirect control of the voice, right? When you play guitar, right, we have very direct control of our fingers. We have frets we compress. It's very visual. The voice, not so much. So it's really about finding the sensations and the balance of all these forces within the singing voice. And what the Sing Ring does, what these resistance straws do, is they more easily put you into this optimal balance so that you can experience it and feel it. So you're training both the muscle and those coordinations, but also your sensation and your mind-body awareness.
Right. Okay. So the sensate you're training the sensation. Okay. I didn't think of it like that. John also has a YouTube channel as well that's dedicated to the voice and dedicated to training the voice. I'm 45, so obviously if I'm no spring chicken. Okay. I can sing pretty well, but I've noticed over the past couple of years I feel like I know I'm a baritone, but then I know that it's gone a little bit lower than a baritone now. It's got like the top end can't reach the high notes it used to. So could this help me expand my range? Could this help me sustain the range or even increase it?
Absolutely. So these are great tools to work your voice again optimally, to start stretching that tissue, those muscles, those tendons, right? Because what does age do to us? It conspires to weaken, stiffen, and it atrophies the body, and it will atrophy the vocal folds or the vocal cords. So you want to work them to delay that for as long as possible.
I love the fact you said it conspires. Uh, it's like
It
in a dark
does.
room conspiring against you. Okay, cool. So what's the best way I could start using this? Just like the first kind of couple of goes of it.
Yeah, so it's actually very, very simple. I think the key thing is to kind of find your best level of resistance. And this is where the sing ring really works well. It's one of the first units that has variable resistance because of these different holes. What I would do is just start without any of the holes covered,
Oh, okay. So
just
literally
just
just
to get a feel for it. Yep, yep.
okay.
And one of the best exercises you can do through this is just to glide. So you're going to blow air and phonate at the same time or make sound. It's like playing a kazoo.
Okay. All right. So like that.
Perfect. There you
Okay.
go. There you go.
Okay.
Now, what you can do is just to feel the contrast, cover all three holes.
Okay.
Do that again.
So do the same
Yep. Do
flow.
the same thing, but now you're covering all three holes.
Okay, so that's cool. I like with the ring, obviously, that you can hold it without covering the holes. It's quite
Yep.
cool because I've
Yep.
seen the other straws, but that's quite easier. Okay. Oh wow.
It's very different.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like I'm pushing a boulder up a hill there. That's
Good. So that's too much resistance.
okay.
So all three holes covered, yeah, is usually too much resistance for most people, certainly when you're just warming up. If you're really warmed up, you can maybe work up to this. So what you can do with the sing ring then is you just kind of play with removing. So now just let the air come out of the bottom. Remove your thumb. Try it
Yeah.
again.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I can still feel it, but it's not as much. It's incredible the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what you want to feel is almost like you're going to get slight chipmunk cheeks. They're going to just bulge a little bit, yeah. And then the exercises I like to do is I'll just do glides, and then I'll do like a car engine trying to start. So I'm pulsing intensity. Try that one.
Right. Okay. So if I
Yep.
keep that bottom one off, because I
Yep.
felt
Keep the
that's
bottom one
better.
off if that
Okay.
feels good.
So I'm just gonna go. Oh, I can feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Tell me what that's doing then. What is that? I know obviously my cheek. It's causing a resistance, but what's that actually doing? Than me just going like what's the difference?
So one, when you glide up and down, that's actually stretching, right, on that glide. So your vocal cords work like a rubber band. So they go from short and fat to long and thin as you go higher.
Right.
And then that pulsing is you're actually working different intensities of the voice. So you're working different muscles.
Okay.
So you're working the muscles that kind of thicken and create more contact.
Right.
So those two exercises together are working your voice in two very different ways.
Okay.
And then the other thing you can do is just sing a little song through it, right? Happy birthday, twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Right.
We won't do happy birthday because I believe that's still under copyright. So I don't want them coming up
That's
to your
fine.
video.
Yeah. So a traditional tune or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you will feel. So look, if people who sing or want to sing, You also use your voice all throughout the day. You may use it in your job, etc., and your voice can get tired. You start to
Oh yeah.
feel your voice start to, yeah. So what you do is you just keep this in your pocket, and when you have a spare 30, 60 seconds, just do some quick glides. Like watch, just go ahead and give me a series of like 4 long glides. Now say something and see if your voice feels different.
Hello, 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 hello. It does.
Yeah.
Genuinely does.
Yeah. Yeah, your voice will feel
I've got
lighter.
more push.
And so
I've got more I don't want to say range, but I've got more
a little bit more sparkle to the voice, more energy.
That's
and
incredible.
For your speaking voice, especially people that are in jobs like school teachers,
Yeah.
I mean, it is estimated that their vocal cords open and close 1 million times plus a day. It's extremely rough on the voice.
Yeah.
Also, content creators, right? If you're recording a lot of videos, you're doing a lot of talking, your voice can start getting tired.
Oh yeah.
So what you do, you just run a series of exercises, 30 seconds, then see where you feel your voice and keep your voice there. You'll kind of feel your voice in this higher, happy place rather than down here where the voice starts to get pressed and tired.
I get that towards the end of the day when I do a lot of filming or a lot of stuff like that. And then the worst one is if I do a lot of filming during the day and then I've got a gig that night. And then by the end of, I do 2 hours straight, and by the end of the 2 hours, my voice will break. If I do like even a slightly higher note, or I'll end up sounding really gritty, at the end of the 2 hours. Yeah. Wow.
So think of this as like a masseuse for your vocal cords.
So is it a case of I've got to get up to the most resistance one, or is it a case of just you find the one that's right for you?
You find the one that's right for you, and it will change throughout the day.
Right.
So when you're first getting your voice going in the morning, your vocal cords will probably be a little puffy, right? Like our eyes are puffy when we wake up.
Right.
So we've got to get that tissue stretched. So you may use no resistance.
Right,
and then
right.
As you go, you start to use a little more, and just see where it's comfortable. That's why I like this device. I have all kinds of these devices. They're technically called SOVT devices, which stands for semi-occluded vocal tract.
Right.
So we voice teachers like to put fancy terms on things. But SOVT devices, this one in particular, it's very portable. So you can just have it on you in your pocket. And you're driving your car, you're stuck at a light. Just go ahead and run this for the 30 seconds you're at the light, and then just feel where your voice is.
I suppose as well, it's a lot quieter than you kind of going na 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 na, like certainly before a gig or something like that. But even if you did that in this, it'd be a lot quieter. So you're not interrupting people, or you could do this anywhere.
And for you, when you're recording and then you have a gig, I would do this between videos. I would do this on the way to the gig, just in between songs. I mean, you're a solo act, so it's a little bit harder, but sometimes singers, if they have a break for a song or in between sets, you just go somewhere and just run these for 60, 90 seconds.
Do you know what? I've been doing 2-hour sets for a while. I might break a bit of 5 minutes to, just run and do this to almost reset my voice.
Perfect word.
So John really knows what he's talking about, because he has a lot of courses, and actually he's got a lot of warm-ups for this that's completely free. We're going to have a link in the description box just under this video, so you can go and get one of these, but also go and get John's vocal straw warm-ups. Talk to me a little bit about that, John.
Yeah, it's just a mini course to give people an idea of how these work. It's an expansion of what we talked about today.
Fantastic.
So a bit of the science behind this. And also I have some warm-ups that I've recorded for people that they can go through and incorporate in using SOVT devices like straws.
That's great. Thank you so much. Listen, thank you so much for taking the time today, because I know you're a busy man, but this is fantastic. And if anyone obviously wants to go and book John or have a look at his courses, go to his website, which is johnhenney.com. There's also a brand new YouTube channel, so go and have a look at it. And all the links I'm going to put are underneath. So that's really interesting with this, and I've left links in the description box if you want to go and pick one of these up. I think for the price, it's worth it. I'm always straining my voice at the end of the day. Certainly if I've been in a day job talking all day and then I do a gig in the evening, my voice is knackered. But using this, I'm starting to see an improvement in my voice, and hopefully you will too. Ovo or Uvo, I don't actually know how to pronounce it. Don't know I'm doing this video. It's not sponsored by them. They have not seen this video beforehand, and the thoughts, of course, are my own because I bought this with my own money because I want to help my voice. And hopefully you'll help your voice too. Now a video's just come up underneath, and I don't know which one that is because the YouTube algorithm gods have decided that that video is the one that's best for you. Go and watch it. Wonder what it is.